Shannon. Carmelo called Shannon yesterday to tell her there was an open speaking slot. It would have been sooner, by the way, Shannon. I dropped the ball. We had a death in the family. I did not make those calls on Monday, if you're wondering why they were late. Carmelo very kindly agreed to step up to the plate and do that for me. That was nice of him. Shannon has no idea where the speech will go. She hasn't figured out yet what she's going to say, but she believes it will touch on education, as that has defined her life. Her speech is entitled, Live the Life You've Imagined. Let's welcome her, Shannon Walsh.
So I believe that everything that you are learning at every moment culminates into the next moment. And so Kelly, I'd like to thank you for your wonderful speech and thank you for that touch on authenticity. I choose a word every year that guides my life. This year happened to be authenticity. I think that sometimes we put up facades. I'm not on social media, so I don't have any of these facades, and I'm not involved in it. But I think it's something that's tearing down our society, us putting up these fake walls. And so I'm just going to try and be as authentic as possible today. I'd like to talk about one of my favorite sayings, which is, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And I had this teacher in college that was amazing. Her name was Dr. Brooks. And Dr. Brooks was this larger-than-life woman, not only just because of her personality, but because of her girth. She was just an enormous woman with this black and white hair that was kind of gray, and she had a ponytail that hung down her back to about here. And I just thought she was the most incredibly beautiful woman I had ever experienced. Because she taught the sociology class. I didn't even know what sociology was, to be completely honest. And I took her class, and she talked about the fact that she had danced at balls, that she had traveled the world, that she had been with dignitaries and ambassadors, and that she had studied at some of the finest places in the world. And I just thought, man, she is the bomb. Like, I want to be like her when I grow up. She just had all these amazing adventures everywhere. And one day, she ended up, not only was she my sociology professor, but I was sitting in Chinese class, and she walked in and sat down. And I was like, oh my gosh, we share some of the same passions. Like, I really want to be like this lady when I grow up. And so I finished my college years, and I was supposed to be coming to Disney World. To take on the world. I graduated from Syracuse University, and I had done my college internship with Walt Disney World, and I just returned from Spain studying there, and I was supposed to be the ambassador at Walt Disney World. I was up for the position. There were 300 of us. I got down to the final 5. I came here. I wore the Mickey Mouse little thing on my cap, and I thought I was going to come here, and I didn't get it. At the very end, I ended up not becoming the ambassador of Walt Disney World, and I was very embarrassed because the bagger at the grocery store and the mailman and everyone in my hometown thought that I was going to be the ambassador of Walt Disney World because my parents had told everyone, and I didn't. So I was rather embarrassed, and I ended up becoming a teacher in South Korea. So within a couple of days, I had an interview, and I got on the plane. The man said, I'm sending you your ticket overnight, and we'll see you in a few days. So I moved to South Korea, and I became a teacher. And from that, I had some wonderful experiences. I got picked up by a television station, only the third in the country at the time, and I became a co-host of a national television show. And then I left there, and I moved to Japan, and I worked on a military base, and I oversaw the graduate program where I did my first graduate degree in public administration, and all my classmates were fighter pilots. And from there, I left public administration. I moved to Orlando to study in the jail systems here. I studied reducing recidivism rates and direct supervisory jail systems, and thought, maybe I'd go into that field, and I didn't. I ended up at Rollins College to get my executive MBA, and I'm telling you all this because education has been a big part of my life, right? And then when my life fell fell apart a few years ago, I sought education again. I just kept seeking education. And I went to Harvard and I went to Columbia, and I had experiences there that changed my life. But it never was just what was happening in the classroom, just like Dr. Brooks. It was always this education that was outside of education. Dr. Brooks, I couldn't tell you one thing she told me about sociology. I couldn't even remember what sociology was all about. But I remembered her and how amazing she was. And this week, I finished my global leadership class. I taught global leadership here locally. And I don't know what those students gleaned from me. I couldn't tell you. I hope that they walk away just having an appreciation for the world, like I had an appreciation for the world with Dr. Brooks and with all the education that I received. I couldn't tell you anything I learned in any degree. And 2 days ago, I had another interview for a professor position, and it was 12 hours long. I had interviews with the deans and the faculty and the professors and doing teaching demonstrations. It started at 9 in the morning and it ended at 9:45 at night. And it was very intense. And I keep thinking, you know, am I the right person for this type of position? What am I going to teach the students? Will they learn anything from me? And all I can think is, when I got up this morning, I still didn't know what I was going to talk about. But just before I left the house, I thought about Dr. Brooks, and I thought, you know, that's what I'm going to talk about, Dr. Brooks, because she just was an amazing person in my life, and she told a little bit about her story. And maybe if I tell a little bit about my stories in the classroom, it would inspire some of the students there. And so I would just like to sum up by saying, you know, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And so I'm hoping that